Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to wait about 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll get started. We're going to have a big group tonight. So just asking that everybody mutes their microphone, please, and holds questions till the end. If you have questions during the meeting, feel free to chat, and Ashley's on with me, and she'll answer your chat if possible. In 1 second, I think I have the wrong PowerPoint up. This is the one we want. Ashley, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go pretty quickly because we have a lot of ground to cover, and I want to try and do this in an hour, but I also want to make sure I cover everything. And I definitely want to leave time for questions at the end. So again, this is the preseason coaches meeting for Rec 2 and Challenge 1 and 2, which is basically all 3rd through 6th grade. If you're on here and you're coaching another age group because you missed that, that's fine, but we might be covering topics that might not be specific to your program. Okay, so things we're going to talk about today, just a little bit about Loudoun Soccer, who your contacts are, some of our policies, how to communicate best with your team. And then we are going to get into some program formats and rule variations for each of your age groups.
Hey, Karen.
Yeah, can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you. The PowerPoint is still on the one, and it just says Loudoun Soccer Mission and Philosophy.
Okay, all right, thank you. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Okay, hold on. Stop share. Thank you for stopping me. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Whatever happened to just meeting in person? Okay, hold on. All right, there we go. Let's share again. Come on. Zoom is not my friend tonight. Hold on, there's my dog. All right, hold on. Scanning. I'm assuming, what can you see now? Nothing?
Just you.
Oh, nice. All right, hold on. Can't get my Zoom up. Hold on. Having my Zoom won't open back up. Hold on. There we go. Turn the meeting. There we go. All right.
There we go.
Believe it or not, I used to work in the tech industry. Oh, the times they are changing. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ashley. Okay. We're going to zoom through here. Get it? So Zoom etiquette again, just keep your mic muted, and the session is being recorded, hopefully not that part that we just did. And then we'll do questions and answers at the end. Just quickly, this chart is kind of handy just for you guys to kind of understand the breadth of our program and how we start at preschool and go all the way to high school. This year, we have very large numbers. We have more high school kids playing in our program this year than I can ever remember, and I've been here a long time. So it just goes to show whatever you guys are doing at the younger age, they're sticking with it. In case anybody on your team is looking for other opportunities, we do have supplemental programs to just coming out and meeting with your team. We have the Rec Technical Training Academy that meets on Friday nights. There is a fee to that. We have the Goalkeeper Academy that is actually free. We do ask you to sign up for it so the trainer could know how many he's expecting at the session, but that is free. And as coaches, you can also attend just to get some tips on how to work with your goalkeeper and just some other things that we have as options. Online coaching support. I actually put a little sticky note on my computer. I'm going to come back to this at the end because I want to share the screen on my computer of the coaching website page. I feel bad because today was like the first day I really looked at that, and Darren Patricio has put some really good stuff up there that will really help you guys out with coaching. So I want you guys to know it's there. Okay, so we're doing this tonight, which it's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Darren Patricio will be doing an online demo of what's called the coaching manual. The coaching manual is an app that you can use on the field to help with your coaching. So I would encourage you, if you're free tomorrow between 7:15 and 8:15, to log into that. And Darren will be sending out an email tomorrow morning with the Zoom link info to all the coaches. Now, this Saturday, we're supposed to be doing all this, but there appears to be a storm heading our way. This is still the plan. We are meeting tomorrow to discuss this. So just, be alert that this might change. Hopefully the weather will move on, but, with our luck, it'll be a, derecho or something. But we don't want to be out there in the pouring rain and the wind, and we don't want you to have to be out there either. So, excuse me, we will let you know. Okay, just some general reminders. Okay, rosters. Unless you're a challenge team, your rosters will be available Friday. Challenge teams should already have their rosters. And as you can tell, they do change because we've already changed some of them. Just keep in mind a couple things when you see your roster. Maybe just like if you're missing someone or something doesn't seem right, just like sit on it for a little while, because sometimes you think people have signed up, but they haven't signed up, or maybe you thought someone requested you, but they were really requested someone else. So there's just a lot that goes into team formation, and Ashley and I try and do a really good job to meet everybody's requests, coaches and parents. Sometimes it's not possible. If you coach third grade and 15 people have asked for you, well, you're going to get the first 12, including your own child, by date of registration. So again, we do the best we can, but sometimes we can't get everybody on your team. But
Carrie,
obviously, if any concerns, you can let me know.
is it okay to ask questions as we go?
If you could wait till the end, that would be great.
Okay.
Did you join late, Jim?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 minutes late.
I recognize his voice. That's sad. I'm kidding. Yeah, please wait till the end. Okay. Team officials, you guys all know this because you've already filled out your online volunteer application. If you're going to have somebody else help you, before they start helping you, they need to go into the system, register to be an assistant coach, and then we'll run the background check, and then we'll get them assigned to your team. If you need an assistant and you don't have one, please email your team and ask them for help, the parents for help. They have to be there anyways. Encourage them that they're just going to be a helper. They don't need to know about soccer. You just need someone to help with the kids. But again, they have to be run through our background check system before they can officially start helping. Required equipment. Okay, jerseys. In your welcome email to your family, definitely ask them if they have a red and a white jersey. We don't care if it's from 1996 or 2020, as long as they have a red and a white one. It can have any sponsor on the back, you know, whatever. If our deadline has passed, so to speak, to order them from Capelli and guaranteed they're here on time, but that doesn't mean they can't go ahead and still order. So just make sure that they have their uniform and not they need to go on and get one ordered. So again, every child should bring a size 4 ball. They have to have shin guards, obviously weather appropriate clothing, plenty of water. The hand sanitizer has been on there since COVID. I'll leave that up to you. And then as far as shoes, you know, most kids wear cleats, but they can wear sneakers if they desire. Just as a reminder, with the cleats, they can't wear the football cleats that have the little toe cleats. So just remember that. They can't have jewelry on. Sometimes refs will miss this and sometimes they won't. So just let people know that the earrings have to be removed. They can't be taped or bandaged. And every season, you know, somebody breaks an arm and people want to know if they could play with the cast. And as long as the doctor says it's okay and it's padded and wrapped correctly, then it's up to the discretion of the referee on game day. Dick's Sporting Goods is holding its discount days again. It's actually Saturday. Well, it's the 7th through 11th in April. They've extended it because that's Easter weekend. But you can go in, you don't have to take anything with you. They'll have the coupons right there in the store, and you'll get a discount. So if there's anything extra you need for your coaching, that's a good time to go. We talked about the uniforms. Okay, safety reminders. As you know, a while back, USU Soccer changed their heading protocol. So again, as a reminder, most of you probably know this, but there's no heading permitted from 5th grade and under. And if it happens, you know, obviously, you know, it's an accident, somebody accidentally headed it, then the other team gets an indirect free kick. I'm sorry, I got it the opposite. If it's intentional, it's an indirect free kick. If it's unintentional, it's a drop ball. Most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, it's unintentional. And then U12 and up, it's limited heading. So just, you know, keep in mind when you're practicing, please don't practice heading unless you're a 6th grade coach or older. Concussions, if you think anyone, you know, has hit their head hard enough where they might have a concussion, please take them out of the game, inform the family. If the family takes the child to the doctor and they do have a concussion, they must provide a return to play note before that player can return to the field. Slide tackling, there is no slide tackling for your age groups. So if it happens, the whistle will blow, the other team, we already went through the heading. Weather and field alerts, and I'm going to make a note to show you this at the end. We have a nice field list on our website that I don't think everybody knows about, which shows when fields are open and closed. But just as a reminder, if you're practicing at a park site, like Raymuth Park, Hanson Park, anything that the county takes care of, the decision to close that field is made by Loudoun County Parks and Rec, not by us. So they don't make that call until between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So sometimes I know it's late, but we just kind of have to, you know, go with what they say. And then always remember, if it's thunder or lightning, the 30-minute delay, you need to be in a building or a car, and just make sure nobody's kind of left behind out in the storm. Team communication. You as the head coach are the primary point of contact. If there's someone else on your team that you want to be doing the communication for you, would you please let me and Ashley know, and then we'll know who this person is who's communicating with us? Because sometimes what'll happen, you might think this is weird, but sometimes what'll happen is like a parent on the team maybe wants to move a game time on Saturday. And if they ask me that, I'm going to assume that they've talked to the coach about it, but that's not always the case. So I don't take those kind of requests from, I don't want to say just anybody, but other people besides the head coach, unless you've told me that. So again, it's you unless you let us know otherwise. The Game Changer app, if you've coached before, you probably have it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's free. But it lets you upload all your players and families' contact information, lets you communicate with them. But it is a little kludgy as far as like if I change a schedule or change your roster, sometimes you manually have to go back in and make those changes. So just kind of bear that in mind. I guess you get what you pay for with that. Just again for this week, Friday rosters will be tomorrow night, special topic. Friday rosters released. The practice schedules, Jamie's been uploading them, so they'll be posted this weekend also if they're not already by Friday. I'm currently working on the game schedule, so April 5th at the latest. First practices are the week of April 10th. I know that seems late, but it's after spring break, so at least we don't have to, at least most people at the public school system spring break, so that we don't have to worry about the getting everything started for a week, then everybody goes away for a week, and then you start over again. So April 10th. If you're a coach who has kids that go to private school and they have spring break this week we start, and you need help with that week because you're going to Florida or doing something fun, please let your team know and find someone to help out. And that way now we can get them, the earlier we know, the better, because we can get them assigned to your roster officially to help out. Again, April 15th is first game. May 27th is Memorial Day weekend, no games or practices. And then the final game, or if you're a Challenge 2 coach, playoffs is on June 3rd. Okay, the spring tournament, which is the Spring Cup, is the weekend of June 9th through 11th. It's for any rec or challenge team ages grades 3 to 6. It's optional. You as the head coach register the team. I will probably get information out about that probably the first week games start, just to give you guys enough advance notice so you can check with your team if you want to participate. Practices. As most of you know, you're allocated half of the field you share with another team. I know this is hard if you have a big team, but I think back to when like my kids played soccer here, like the best field we had was Simpson Middle School. And now we barely even put anyone on Simpson Middle School to practice because we have so many good fields. So I guess think of it that way, that you're on a pretty nice field and a lot of them have lights, and even though you have to share. Just make sure, especially if you're at a site like Hanson that's going to be super busy, if you have the 5 o'clock slot, someone's coming on at 6. So just maybe end 5 minutes early, take your kids off to the sideline and have a team, like little team discussion or something, and allow the next group to start on time. We talked about Saturday schedules a little, but when the schedule does come out, just double check the details. Make sure if you're coaching 2 teams that I haven't messed it up, put your games at the same time, which I actually went through it today and it looks pretty good, but I do make mistakes, so make sure you check that. Game reschedules. I really only want to reschedule a game if you have something that you know ahead of time, like you're getting married, someone else is getting married and you're going out of state. If those are things you know now, please go ahead and send me an email. Hey, Karen, I won't be here on May 6th. You know, my daughter's getting married in Tennessee, whatever the situation, and we can work to get that game rescheduled. Please do not email me on a Thursday, like April 13th, and tell me you can't play on April 15th, because it's a lot of work to try and move a rough schedule around and change, notify the opposing coach and all that. So I know things happen, people get sick, and that's a different story. But if you know ahead of time, give me as much advance notice as you can. Okay, game day, what to bring? Obviously, you're going to bring your coaching kit that we're going to give you with all your stuff in it. Uniforms. So the home team always wears red. The away team wears white. I would suggest keeping an extra red or white t-shirt or two in your bag in case Johnny or, Sally bring the wrong shirt. You can give them a different color. Mom or dad don't have to run home and get their other shirt. And I know it's hard. I mean, you guys are coaches, you know this. People like to, roll in right as the game's starting. And of course, that's the kid that you have, starting off the game. So if your game's at 10, tell them it's at 9:30, or tell them you need them there at 9:30. Gives them time to park, get all their stuff, and get to the field in time. When you're warming up, try and avoid using the goal area because it gets the most punishment, the grass does, and warm up outside that area, and it'll just help preserve the field. Say hello to everyone and you get started. Okay, spectators and coaches. Okay, so coaches are always on one, and teams are on one side of the field at the touchline, and the fans are on the other side. So team A would be here, spectators for team A would be here, vice versa for B. Try and get the parents into the habit of sitting back a good 10 yards off of the touchline. Now, getting assistant referees we don't use them at 3rd and 4th grade, but for 5th and 6th, we don't always have them. But if we do, they need that room to run up and down. And it just makes it nicer because, parents can get kind of excited during the game. And if they're a little bit off the field, I don't know, I just think it makes for a nicer atmosphere. And then keep in mind as the coach, I think it's on the next slide, the technical area. You need to stay in the technical area. And I will say there's been many a times when I've watched the tournament out here and I look over and there's a 3rd grade challenge coach like running onto the field. What is happening over there? Because someone has gotten excited, or they're supposed to be standing here and they're way over here because they're trying to tell the goalkeeper what to do. So just remember, your technical area it's not painted, but it's right here. So you need to stay pretty close to the center line. And that just brings me to another topic. I'm going to talk real quick about assistant coaches. I have a couple teams that have 3 to 5 assistants, and I'm okay with that at practice. Hey, the more the merrier. But during a game, it's you and one assistant on the sideline. So if you've got more than one assistant, you need to decide who it is that's going to stand over here during the game. And I don't care if it's a different coach each game, or if you as a coach want to have the same assistant, so you're kind of on the same wavelength. But we can't have like 5 parents standing over here. It just, for the kids, it's like too many people kind of telling them what to do. I've just noticed this from the past several seasons, that it's gotten more crowded over here on the touchline. So we're trying to limit it to 2 people. FIFA laws of the game. Obviously, you've got the FIFA laws, and then you have our abridged rules. And that's one of the things I'm going to show you at the end, is where these abridged rules are, because they're the most important thing for you to know. And that way you could either take a picture of it and have it on your phone, or you can print them out and take them with you. Okay, so we're going to talk about grades 3 and 4 right now. So if you're a 5-6 coach and you want to, take a little nap, you can. So grades 3 and 4, you play 7v7, 4 10-minute quarters, and you have about a 1 to 2 minute break in between quarters and a 5-minute break at halftime. Now, this isn't going to be exact. It's not like a basketball clock. The guy or gal, whoever's reffing, if the ball rolls out of bounds at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, they're probably going to blow the whistle because they want to do it at a stop. So just bear that in mind. Playing time and substitutions. Okay, so we're asking that everybody that attends at least one practice per week receives 50% minimum playing time. Now, that doesn't mean everyone gets the exact amount of playing time, but at least everybody's getting 50%. Now, with that being said, there are some third grade teams that are extremely full. And I'm actually going to email the groups that are full. I'll probably do that tomorrow. And there's a link on the website that helps with how to do how to manage a large roster. Now, someone will tell me, oh, you can put 13 on a third grade team because not everyone comes. And that could be true, but the minute I put 13 on a team, everyone will come. And then you'll be like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna like manage this with quarters? So anyways, if you do have, there are some of you that have 13 on your roster, I will email you either tomorrow or Friday with a link that will help you with your substitutions. Again, make sure that you're playing 4 different goalkeepers, different goalkeeper each quarter. And that quarter doesn't really count as that person's minimum playing time. So if you're playing me at goalkeeper the first quarter, then I need to play 2 other quarters on the field. And you can just use scrimmage vests for goalkeeper jersey. Okay, restarts for grades 3 and 4, it's a throw-in. They get 2 chances for the proper form. These are all things that can happen. You can get penalty kicks, direct kicks, and the build outline. Hopefully we've got a picture of that in a minute. Okay, look at that. There's the build outline. Okay, so for those of you that have not coached before, I always call the build outline like the blue line in hockey, but that's just because I understand the blue line in hockey, but even though it's not really the same thing. But basically what needs to happen is, here's the defensive team back here, and the offensive team is in red. So obviously the offensive team has tried to score, and the keeper has picked up the ball. Well, the keeper cannot punt. They have to roll the ball out. And so the offensive team, which is the red team here, has to retreat back beyond the build out line while the goalkeeper is putting the ball out for his team. And the minute the ball goes out, then they can cross over here. It might seem confusing, but that line will be drawn on the field. And if you get out to a field where you have a game and you don't see the build out line, you'll need to put cones out, and the ref should help you do this. But it's basically halfway between the penalty box and midfield. And you could just put a few cones here so you have an idea of where it is. But hopefully it'll all be painted correctly. Okay, offside. Offside is enforced from the build out line, meaning, I'm gonna go back a screen. If this guy is standing here, okay, he's in an offside position. Well, these people are here, so he's not. But if once he gets past the build out line, then you can have offsides. If somebody was standing right here and everybody else was behind him over here, you might look out of the field and say, oh, that guy's offsides, but he's not, because he's on his kind of defensive side of the build out line. I don't know if I explained that very well, but we do have more description of that on the coaches page. I'll show you later. It'll make more sense when you're out there. So there's no offsides on throw-ins, corner kicks, or goal kicks. Yeah, it's a difficult concept for players to understand, and it's a difficult concept to explain. But hopefully it's spring. Hopefully everybody played in the fall and you kind of got the handle on things. Okay, so now we're going to move to grade 5 and 6 for a couple minutes. This is a little different in that you're doing substitutions at stoppages and not at the quarter. So this is when you are allowed to sub your teams at the discretion of the ref. Your teams throw in. The opposing teams throw in if they are also subbing. Any goal kick, any kickoff, an injury or disciplinary action, you can do a 1-for-1 sub, and at halftime. So it's different in all different leagues. Like I think high school lets you sub in on a corner kick, and we don't have that here. So just make sure. I mean, the ref will tell you, but if you know, it makes things easier. Again, playing time, we talked about that. It's the same except again, with the goalkeeper, it's just 2 different goalkeepers, obviously not 4. Now, it can be 4 if you want it to be. You would have to sub them in and let the ref know that you're subbing in a keeper, but you want to have at least 2. Let's see, restarts, throw in, direct penalty kicks. Okay, so these are just all things that might be different. Like if you haven't played since 2nd grade when they did kick-ins, basically throw-ins, you get 1 chance. You don't get a do-over. Direct and indirect kicks, you can have penalty kicks. There's no build out line. So offside is enforced at the midfield and the goalkeepers can punt. Encourage your kids, I'm going to encourage you to rotate the players into multiple positions. I know by the time they probably get to be about 12 years old, they're like, oh, I only want to do defense, or, I want to score goals, but, just try and move them around and try not to pigeonhole them into one position. Okay, play balance. That comes into play when a team might be short players. So I'm going to use an example. 5th grade girls challenge. We have some teams with 11 and some teams with 15. And that's only because of where kids live. So I haven't come up with a good solution on that yet, except for making kids, drive an hour to practice, which I don't want to do. So if I'm a team with 11 and 2 of my kids are sick and I show up with 9, and Ashley's coaching a team and she has 15, I'm going to go to Ashley before the game and say, hey, look, Ashley, I only have 9 players. Can we play 77 or can you loan me a couple players? Try to work something out so that everybody gets more playing time, everybody gets to play, and the one team isn't, getting beaten to death because, they don't have any subs and they're super tired. Scores. Okay, so with 7v7 and 9v9, when your team is losing by 4 goals, you can, or you may add an extra player to the field. You don't have to. This is kind of up to you to keep track of because the ref's not going to come over to you and say, hey, do you want to add a player? I mean, they might, but I doubt it. Once that deficit is reduced to 3, you have to remove the extra player. If it was me, what I would probably do, sometimes putting an extra player out there doesn't really help. Sometimes it does. But if I was the winning coach and I was winning by more than 4, I would rotate positions. I would play my less developed players, maybe add conditions like you have to pass it 4 times before you try and shoot. Just things like that so the score doesn't get run up. Okay, score reporting. We only report scores for challenge teams. Challenge 1 coaches, pay attention because this involves you. Last season, we reported challenge 2. We are gonna take scores for challenge 1. And we're only doing this for one reason. It's not like, sorry, it's not like to get a trophy at the end. It's for me in team formation to know like who are the stronger teams and maybe we should be doing like different divisions the next season as far as to keep the games competitive. And I'm not doing it to like take players from your team or anything like that. It's just for our own benefit. What will happen is Ashley and I will put together a Google survey and I will send that out to you guys. And what I'd like you to do is within 24 hours of your game, you log into the Google survey, you just answer the questions. And I don't want it to just be the winning coach. I want it to be both coaches so that let's say a score was 10-1. I want the other one to say 1-10. So I know that it was the same. Just so you know, let's say you do win 10-1, you're only gonna get 4 goals. Like for challenge 2, when we do count your standings, the max is 4 goals for your game differential. So I want the real score, but the recorded score is gonna be a 4-goal differential. So don't worry if you look on and say, oh, Karen put the score down wrong. It's just the system's gonna chop it off and only give you a 4-goal differential. Okay, refs, we all know the ref story. Sometimes you get a good ref, sometimes you get a bad ref, and sometimes you don't get a ref at all. I will do my best this season to notify you guys, I did last season, if a ref is not available. We have a lot of games this season between rec and travel, so I haven't talked to the ref person. I hope our ref pool has grown a little bit. If a ref doesn't show, hopefully I'll have told you ahead of time. Go ahead and play the game. The coaches can alternate either quarters or halves reffing, or sometimes a parent or a sibling will help out. And just remember to be a positive role model. I know you all will. That's why you're doing this. You want to spend time with your kids, which is great. Just remember there's a 0 tolerance towards referee abuse. So if it happens, you'll get a phone call from Darren and you'll have to come in and talk to him. You as the coach are responsible for your team and fan conduct. Because I will say, it's usually not the coach behaving badly. It's usually a parent behaving badly. So what ends up happening, the coach gets in trouble because a parent has said or done something that they probably didn't really mean. It was like in the heat of the moment, but just, you know, your parents, just ask them ahead of time, you know, hey, we're going to be good sports no matter what happens. And if you want to talk about things that happen and complain about them later, you can do it at your, you know, your team dinner later on or whatever. But just if something happens, I mean, especially at the tournament, it always happens. We have the Dan Rabin Knucklehead Award that, you know, we like to give out every year, even though it's not really official. It's an in the office award. At the end of the game, just, you know, again, you're doing a good game. You can shake hands if you know, we're back to that again, or the high five, thank the referees and clean the bench areas. And you as coaches are already doing so much. If it were me, I would have a parent on the team, like each week assigned to like making sure like everything was taken away. And maybe it's the same person who's bringing snacks. You know, maybe they would also bring a trash bag and make sure all the trash is taken with them. And then if there was anything, any serious issue during the game that I need to know about, please feel free to email me and let me know. Resources I'm going to show you in a minute. And good luck. We want it to be a great season. Okay, I am going to show you a couple things and then I'm going to take some questions. So give me 1 second while I get to site. I'll start with my computer. Okay. Give me a second. I have too many windows open. Okay. All right. Let me share this. We have a new social media guy in our office, and Beth Meeker has moved to our marketing department, and I just think they're doing a great job with our website. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm getting there. I need to focus instead of talking. Okay, sure. There you go. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so here's our homepage. We used to have the coaches drop down under About, but we've moved it under Rec. And I'll show you the 3 different tabs here. So the Info Center. We have Verizon, can you tell? Kind of slow. Okay, the Info Center, and you can scroll down, it goes forever, or you can hit one of these and it'll tag you down to the bottom. But basically, this is where like this presentation will be posted once it's recorded. Over here, talks about the safe sport training, about this pre-coaches meeting that we're already having, concussion information. So just kind of like basic admin information. And then if you want to get into the curriculum part of it, if you go to coaching education, I'll just show you something. Let's go to one of these. Okay. That's not what I wanted. I should have checked that beforehand. Okay. Okay, never mind. I closed the whole thing. Okay, so instead of going back to that, I don't want to waste time on that. I'm going to tell you, if you go there under the education, there are a ton of videos that Darren has done. That's where the abridged rules are for each of your age groups. It'll tell you like how, if you've forgotten how long the quarters are, how long the halves are, the heading, everything I kind of just went over. All kinds of information at that link. And I'm sure Darren will share more of that tomorrow when he's going over the coaching manual that he's going to talk about. So I know that was really fast, but that was like 40 minutes of information. I can go ahead and take some questions if you have something for the whole group. I'm happy to entertain those.
Yeah, Karen, this is City here.
Hey, City.
My first question is actually about the rescheduling the game.
Okay.
Sometimes, like I remember last season, it happens just the day before the game or in the very morning. Parents, 3-4 kids are sick, they wouldn't make it, and I have no choice but to try to reschedule the game. So I was wondering if when they upload the game information, if any chance we can able to share our contact information, the coaches, so we can like call each other or text or something and say, hey, this is what's happened to me. I would like to reschedule this before we even reach out to you in order to
Okay.
make up the time.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand the question. Getting the other coach contact information is one,
Yes.
right? Okay, and I gotta figure that out because we used to, a long time ago, before there were all these privacy issues, we used to just post a list, but we're not gonna do that. But let me talk to Darren about that, coach contact for age groups, but your other concern about the games changing at the morning, was that based on people on your team telling you they can't be there? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, kids not
Someone
feeling
gets
well,
sick,
so they
whatever.
yeah, so you end up with just maybe half the team showing up for the game, or
Okay.
sometimes even less.
Sure.
So
Okay, so if that happens and it's that day, you just need to go with what you have and then try and borrow from the other team. But I could see having the coach contact info would be helpful because you shoot them a note and say, hey, I'm only gonna have 6 players. I still want to come, but can you loan me a couple? Because I didn't want to cancel anything like the day of. To be honest, I don't really want to do it the day before. But if you called me and told me like your whole team had COVID or something, or, whatever happened, of course, we're going to reschedule your game. So I don't want to just say it's a blanket no, but I would really encourage your families to look at that schedule ahead of time and give you as the coach advance notice as to when, hey, I'm going away that weekend, or, my kid's birthday's that day and I'm having the whole team over for a sleepover, or, whatever the issue is. And let's try and get that solved before it gets to that point.
Hey, Karen, I know we've done this before. I'm in the Game Changer app. How do I
Yeah.
get my team to download? You hit the
I don't
plus
know.
sign in the upper right. Does it create a new team? Do we import the Sports Connect? Anybody on here recall?
I don't have the
Import
answer
Sports
to him.
Connect.
Does somebody want to help?
I can help. Import Sports Connect.
Import Sports Connect? Aha, there it is.
Nice, well done. Whoever support was there. Very, very well done.
For anybody who's new, it's very, very helpful to use this.
Well, and there is, we do have on our website, there is like a little cheat sheet and there's a Game Changer app support line, but I've never used that and I don't know if it's helpful. So I'm not much help with the Game Changer app. Maybe we should
It's
start.
pretty easy.
You know, like a little chat thing where you could put in FAQs and you guys could run it. Just throwing it out there.
That's a good idea, Karen.
Thank you, Trent. Okay, any other questions?
Hey, yeah, I kind of chimed in because I have a little one. And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. I just want to
Okay.
make sure that I'm clear. You mentioned to begin games, we have a coin flip for
Yep.
kickoff, and so whoever I got conflicting responses from the officials last year because I would typically want to defer and let
Sure.
the other team kick off to begin the game. But I had at least one time the official told me that my captain won the coin flip, so we had to kick off.
Yeah, no, that's not right.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to, I wanted to make sure I'm clear before I say,
that's not
no,
right.
that's not
I'm
right.
gonna make a note of that. Hold on. Refs and coin toss. That's
It's
just
not
the
a
refs
huge deal. I just,
No,
that was a
no,
preference
no.
I had for my team, and
No.
I was told I
You
couldn't
can
do
pick-
that one
No,
time.
you
so once
you
or
pick
twice,
whether you want to kick off and the other team
Right.
can pick which way they want to go. Yeah,
which makes perfect
Exactly.
sense.
okay. I'll make a
Thank
note of
you.
that. You're welcome.
It's good to see you too, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And just to let you guys know on the ref side, Chris McKay, who's been our ref director for a couple years, is kind of stepping back, which is super sad to me because I don't know if you guys had any experience with Chris, but he's an amazing person. He's super smart. He's kind. He's like a good ref. I don't know. He's a great mentor. Anyways, I'm going to start crying. But Noah Clem is stepping in and he's amazing too. So it made me feel better when Noah stepped in. So we will have a new ref director this year.
Hi,
Anybody else?
Karen. Pratik here. Quick question. So I believe for challenge 2, you cannot pass the ball to the goalkeeper and they pick it up by hand. Is that
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
You shouldn't
So
really
the-
do it in grades 3 and 4, but they're probably more lenient about it, like it being accidental. So yeah, I would try not to do it at all.
So that is the penalty if they do that?
It would be, yes.
Okay.
If I may jump in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing, Kelvin Tuggle? Yeah,
Hi,
that's,
Kelvin.
hey, that's just soccer. I mean, if it's a ricochet,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you think it's fair, but if your player passes it back to the goalie, the goalie can only use his feet and he can't pick it up. Yeah, that's a penalty.
Yeah, but they'll definitely be lenient with the third graders, but it depends on how obvious it is. Yeah. Like, hey, here you go.
Hey, wait a
You know,
second.
then
So,
they-
I'm sorry. So if a ball's kicked from an opponent, the goalkeeper can pick it up though, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's
Okay,
just, it's a pass back if it's your own team. Like
Yeah.
if you watch professional or, older kids, they'll use the goalie as someone to pass to as a field player and they have to use their feet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But is that considered a penalty kick or an indirect?
No, that's a penalty.
It's okay.
No.
It would be, hold on. So I believe it's a,
Because last I checked, that was an indirect.
It's
I think it's
indirect.
an
it's the
indirect
goalie.
kick. Yeah, I believe it's indirect. Yes.
Okay, I will send you
Yeah.
guys I'll send you guys the rule on that one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Calvin. Well, I learned last night that if you want from Michaela Brody, who works here, that a good mnemonic device for knowing when it's a direct kick is any penalty that ends in ing. Who can give me one? Pushing, shoving, yeah, kicking. No, she was just saying it last night, basically, handling the ball. So it's just, something you can remember. Anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there.
I had a quick first time coaches question if I could. So the
Okay,
stuff
sure.
that's coming up this week, look at what it's called here, the field session on Saturday, coaches
Mm-hmm.
manual. Is this just more instructional?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then for the equipment pickup, what equipment will we end up getting? Are we
Okay,
looking
that's
at?
a really good question. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so you're gonna get a big mesh bag that's gonna have a game ball. It's gonna have a first aid kit, some ice packs. You'll pick up your coach's shirt, and if your assistant's coming or not coming, you can get their shirt. Depending on what age you're coaching, you might get some pennies. You'll at least get one for your goalkeeper. And what am I forgetting, Ashley?
Cones.
Cones, and you get cones in case you need to make your build out line. Yeah, exactly. And if you're a first time coach and you need some extra soccer balls, because let me tell you, you cannot go to practice with one soccer ball, because what's going to happen, the first time you hold practice, 12 kids are going to come and 4 of them are not going to have a ball with them. They either forgot it, didn't know they had to bring it, or it's flat. So you're going to want to have some old extra soccer balls in your bag. We have tons lying around here. So when you come to pick up your equipment, just ask me or Ashley, where the old people leave their soccer balls lying around and they sit around here forever. And I'm happy to give you some. And while saying that, you coaches that have been coaching for a long time, if you have a bag full of soccer balls and you want to get rid of some of them, just, bring them with you to the coach's equipment pickup and we can give them to a newbie.
Hey, Karen, it looks like we have more players on our roster than last year. I think you answered this at the beginning, just because a lot more kids signed up this year.
Are you coaching 3rd grade boys challenge?
No.
What are you coaching?
Fifth grade challenge.
How many do you have? 16?
14.
Oh, 14's nothing. So I have some things you can have between our goal number is probably 14, to be honest with you, for that age group. I have some teams, like I said earlier, with the girls that only have 11, and then there's some teams, I think maybe it's the 6th grade boys have 16. So 16's the max and 11's the least. So 14 is a good number.
Gotcha. And did I hear you say no build out line for 5th and 6th grade?
Correct.
Thanks.
Yep.
Karen, I got 2 quick questions. Tomorrow's meeting, the special topic, coach's manual. Is that manual on the website? I won't be able to make that meeting tomorrow night.
Okay, so it's called the coaching manual. It's really an app, but it will be recorded, the session, and
Okay.
you'll be able to watch it later.
Okay, thank you. Second question, I forget what it is, so we're just gonna pass on that.
That's great. I love it. We're on the same wavelength there.
Yeah, for everybody, I've never played soccer or coached soccer, so here I am.
Okay, could somebody, is it Eric?
Eri,
Eri, sorry. Okay, could somebody become Eri's friend and help him? Eri, what
I'm not too concerned about it, but I'm not gonna.
what area are you coaching though? What area of Loudon?
South Riding.
3rd grade boys?
3rd grade boys, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Someone will become your friend.
Gonna make it
Right,
happen.
this is Raj. I've done it for multiple ages, and I'm in South Riding as well. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Okay, Raj is the best. He will make you feel like you're the greatest person in the world. So hook up with Raj. He'll
Copy, Raj. My email's in my thing here, if you can see that.
Raj Desai. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, I got it.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
And we're
Anybody
going to get
else?
all of the rosters and the schedule at the same time as the kids, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't
won't-
have any idea when or where we're playing at yet at this point.
No.
Okay. Just to make sure I didn't miss an email.
No, I've done the schedule, but I change it every day when I add a new team. So I don't want to, jinx myself. Poor Ashley, every time she puts the coaches' jerseys in a bag, I change something on her. So, but yeah, everybody, if you're a South Riding, 3rd grade boys rec team, you're going to play in South Riding, at Conklin Park. If you're an Ashburn 3rd grade boys rec team, you're going to play in Ashburn somewhere. If you're a challenge team, you might be kind of all over the place. But for the most part, there were enough rec teams, except in Percival. But we do have, just because we have Scott Jenkins Park in Hamilton again, which is a really nice park in between. It's really kind of Waterford, Hamilton area. And we've got Leesburg, Percival games going on there. which is kind of nice.
Karen, what time's the equipment pickup? I know it's weather dependent, but refresh my
Well,
memory.
it's kind of all day. It's on that, it's on the website. So it's all different times depending on when your clinic is. Like we have minis coming at one time, third grade comes at another time. So you'll need to look at that, either the email that went out, but I'm sure, let's put it this way, another email is gonna go out either tomorrow or Friday with a reminder, but it's all in the morning.
Okay. Was that
On
Saturday or
Saturday.
Sunday?
It's Saturday, and then Sunday's also just equipment pickup, no clinics,
Okay.
unless we end up altering it based on the weather.
Thanks.
Karen, hey, it's Chris Tomlinson.
Chris?
2 questions. Hey. For 6 or for U12 13, can you talk a little bit about the header? It said limited headers.
Yeah, what they really don't want you to do is like at practice, continually practice heading. I think for U12, they really just want it to be, oh, it happened in a game. So it happened in a game. I don't think they really want it to be specific. But what's weird is it's really a year of play thing with US Soccer. So I don't have my chart in, but whatever year a old U12 and a young 13 would be, that's really the first year that US Soccer says it's okay to start hitting the ball. So I guess that's why they say it's limited, because sometimes you could have younger kids on your team. And we just want to give them more time, you know, to develop.
Okay. And I think this was asked in chat, but I've had to log out and in, so I've lost the chat
That's okay.
thread. For 3rd grade challenge where we rotate goalkeepers for each quarter, do we need 4 kids playing, or do we just need to rotate the goalkeeper each quarter?
You need 4 different goalkeepers.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, Karen, this is Mark Minetti. Just a
Hey,
quick
Mark.
question. Did I hear that there are some teams that are still being added? Are the rosters
Yeah.
in flux or?
The challenge teams, there are not teams being
Okay.
added, but rec
So we're
teams,
pretty much,
you're set.
okay, we're
You're
set
set.
then. Okay,
Yeah,
good deal.
I'll just give you an example. In South Riding, I have 30 6th grade boys rec with no coaches.
Oh, geez.
I had someone step up today. So I'm adding 1 team, but I still need another one. So for the most part, after I do that, we'll be done. We do need some rec 1 coaches. If you guys have like teenagers in your house that are super responsible and love soccer and want to coach 1st graders, have them reach out to Michaela Brody, because I know she's looking for boys, not girls coaches, but boys, 1st and 2nd grade coaches, mostly in Ashburn and South Riding, where all the people live.
Do they need to be a parent? So I know a couple of my friends might be interested.
They do
but
not need to be a parent.
Okay.
We'll have like 2 15-year-olds or 16-year-olds that coach grade 1. We just assign a parent to the team as like a overseer, so to speak, you know, communicator. But no, we've had teenagers coach our little kids teams a lot, and the kids seem to really like it. Nothing
Whom should
against
I
you old
contact?
people.
Yeah, this is Sen, by the way. I have a 15-year-old. I'll ask him if he's interested to coach.
Okay, that would be great.
So yeah, whom should I contact? Is there any
Okay, you know what?
email
If
address?
you have
Yeah,
my email, Sen, you can go ahead and email me, and I'll get it to
perfect.
the right person.
Yeah. So related question. So these high school kids, they need to do some voluntary hours, right? So they can claim towards those voluntary hours, right?
It will go towards the volunteer hours.
Perfect. Thank you so
And
much.
look, Michaela just walked in. I'm finding you coaches. Yeah. She runs the Rec 1 program, so she'll be happy to hear if your son wants to coach. So I look forward to hearing.
Karen, I'm sorry, Eli Brinkerhoff here.
That's
Raj,
okay, right?
I dropped my cell phone in the chat to you. I need to sign off now. I just wanted to mention that. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, no worries.
Hey,
Okay,
Ira,
yeah,
I got your email as well, so I'll either shoot you an email or give you a call or shoot you a text or something, but happy to help.
you guys are the best.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right.
No worries.
Love it. Okay, if I probably have time for one or two more questions, then Zoom will probably cut us off. Anybody else got something for the group?
Hey, Karen, while I have the mic, I'll take that second. I don't have a question, but I want to thank you and Ashley because I know I bug you guys
knew
every
it.
now and then. You guys are awesome. Thank you for accommodating and hearing me out. I know I'm probably on your bad list, but thank you for everything you guys do. And that's all
You're
I've got.
welcome. You're not on the list yet. We have a board right over here. Yeah, you're not, no, there's nothing. There's
I'm gonna
nothing
have
on
to
there.
go check it out. I'll peek through the windows.
That'd be great.
No, but
Yeah.
seriously, thank you guys.
You're very welcome. I appreciate it. I told you. Yeah, Raj will make you feel good. Okay, well, on that note, we're gonna end. And if you have any other questions from tonight, please email me.
I wanted to mention one thing about
Wait,
the
Mr. Green.
cleats. The
About the
soccer
cleats?
cleats seem to have changed design, so your picture is not
Oh.
necessarily accurate. So
That's good to
Red
know.
Sun got called out one time for wearing soccer cleats, but they kind of had some front toe studs.
Really?
Yeah, like it'll be
Um,
like it's not quite like the soccer football ones. Red
Okay.
Sun got called out for it in the tournament one year.
That's interesting. Okay, I'll let Darren know about that. Thank you. Anybody else?
I have a question. I'm a first-time coach, and it was
Welcome.
mentioned on the site that we have to take some sort of training. Is
Oh,
there a
the
link
Safe
for
Square?
that training?
There is a link for that training. If you go to, and Ashley, tell me if I'm wrong, if you go to loudsoccer.com under rec, REC,
Mhm.
coaches, Ashley, is it under coaches
I
information?
think it's on the
it's-
coaches info center.
Yeah.
If you can't find it, just shoot an info or an email to info@loudandsoccer.com and I'll send you the link directly.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Is there a way to put it in the chat before we head out?
That would be great. I got signed out. Bye.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
My time is up.
Thank you,
Email me if
Karen.
you-
Appreciate
email
it.
me if you have any questions. You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.